Hey guys, today I will be going over tips and tricks in Valheim Hearth and Home that you might not know yet. So basically this video will go over some of the less obvious things that you can do with the new Hearth and Home content, essentially a bunch of obscure or advanced tips and tricks, and I've made a video with more general tips and tricks for every single item and piece that they have added in the game with Hearth and Home as well, so check that video out if you haven't yet, and that way you'll know everything that you want to know. And before we get into the video, if any of you guys are looking for a server to play on for Valheim, check out my Indifferent Broccoli server hosting link in the description. They've actually sponsored this video, and with my link you can try them out completely free for 2 days and see if you like them. They have very stable and fast servers, and their servers make it possible to always play on a world even when the host or the rest of your friends are offline. Plus, their customer support is run by people with no life, so they will always respond quickly if there is an issue. Lastly, here is a haiku from today's sponsor: game server hosting, fast RAM, high-speed internet, eat lag for breakfast. And now let's get into the video. Getting a lot of coal using the Obliterator. The Obliterator makes it possible to get rid of your unwanted stuff, but it can also be a handy tool for getting coal quite easily. Depending on what exactly and how much of it you throw inside of the Obliterator, it will give you coal. For the vast majority of items in the game, the ratio will be 10 to 1, so throw in 10 of a certain item to get 1 coal. This is the standard conversion, and it's a pretty poor conversion. You really don't want to do this if you're specifically using the Obliterator to get coal. There are some exceptions to the rule though, and there's even one type of item that has an even worse conversion than the standard conversion: arrows. Any type of arrow, whether it's flint, fire, frost, whatever, it does not matter, will have a ratio of 20 arrows for 1 coal. So definitely avoid using arrows for this purpose, as they have the worst conversion in the game. On the other hand, wood and all the variations of it have a better ratio than the standard ratio, as you only need to throw in 5 wood to get 1 coal. This conversion is okay, but it's not that amazing or anything. The big winner here are trophies though. Trophies have the best conversion in the game with a 1-to-1 conversion. Every trophy you throw inside of the Obliterator will give you exactly 1 coal. It's kind of convenient because most trophies in the game are useless outside of decorative purposes, so if you have a lot laying around, you can definitely use this to get easy coal. There's also a very easy way to buy coal while using the Obliterator. And essentially how this works is that you go to your trader, you buy bait, and for only 10 gold you will get 50 fishing bait, which using the Obliterator will convert to 5 coal. So basically if you do it this way, it's 2 gold for 1 coal each, and it can be a very easy way to get coal if you are rich as fuck. Using the battle axe for logging. So with the normal axe you can chop trees obviously, and most people will probably do it that way since it's obviously the standard way. But if you use a standard axe or a one-handed axe, you will be able to only cut down 1 tree at a time like that. With battle axes, however, you can hit multiple trees at the same time and thus chop them down at the same time, making the process of getting wood faster. And now with the crystal battle axe that has been added to the game with the Hearth and Home update, this method has even gotten better, as this weapon does significantly more damage than the normal battle axe. With now more damage and also the fact that you can AoE down trees, I find this to be a very convenient way to chop down trees fast and easy. Stacking stacks. Hearth and Home adds various types of new stacks to the game. Basically it's just a stack of a certain item, like a core wood stack or a coal stack, and etc, etc. And normally you can't stack these items, it will just not work if you try. But using some magical workarounds you definitely can. Just build a pole or any structure really that you can build against, and just stack the stacks like that. Align them exactly like how you want them to be aligned for your aesthetical preferences, and it gives you quite some freedom in doing so. Then just build a new stack on top of the previous stack, and ultimately you will have stacked stacks. And if you don't like the pole or the structure that you personally use, it's very easy to hide it behind all those stacks. So it really gives you the vibe that you actually stacked all these stacks. Stacking crystal walls. Similarly, crystal walls are also not stackable by themselves, weirdly enough. But using the same trick you can now stack them as well. You can even make a larger type of window this way, or get a bunch of them going to get a large crystal wall that you can use for all kinds of building or aesthetical purposes. The logs is an absolute killing machine. Yes, bringing and taming the logs is fun and all, but it's even better when you use them for combat. You have to tame them first though, which is a new thing in Hearth and Home, but it just works the same as with any tameable animal in the game. So do that, tame them, and then try to breed as many of them as possible. The logs can take on pretty much every enemy in the game, and it's definitely worth using them for this purpose. Here's an example of how they massacre wave after wave after wave and so on and on and on of fuelings without getting any casualties whatsoever. The fuelings have zero chance and the logs completely curb stomps them. Even against 50 dead squiddos, which is probably nightmare fuel for many people. They don't give a shit and put up a very good fight and destroy them all. In this 50 versus 50, by the way, 12 logs died and all 50 dead squiddos died. So that really should give you an indication of the power of the logs. In just 1 versus 1s they are also the absolute best as well. I haven't seen them lose a single 1 versus 1 yet. So keep that in mind and tame as much of these as possible to get your own army going. Infinite weight with the logs. The logs does not only win wars for you, but it's also very useful to use them for bending the rules in this game. While you're encumbered, you get penalized, and as a result you will move very slowly, as you might know. And as you can see here, I'm severely encumbered at this point with over 500 weight exceeding the maximum capacity limit. But none of that matters when you have a logs pad, as you can just hop on them while encumbered and ride them normally. And now with Hearth and Home, you can move yourself around with infinite weight in a good pace like this. It can be very useful at times. Swimming with the logs. If you thought the logs wasn't multifunctional enough already, you can even use your pet logs to swim with it. This can be very useful when you want to go from an island to another island without wanting to sail, or if you just hate sailing. Don't make your logs pet drown though, as it will start getting damaged when they run out of stamina. And this is not really meant for long voyages, but can definitely be useful for those short travels overseas. Also, if you think that this logs is cute, then subscribe right now if you haven't yet, otherwise he will get mad at you. Most efficient way of getting stuck tar. So after killing those growths that drop tar, there is even more tar in the tar pits that the growths usually guard. But the blobs of tar in the tar pits are usually stuck and you can't really pluck them that easily from the ground. However, you can modify the ground using your hoe in such a way that you pull up the surface under the stuck tar. When you pull up the surface, this will make the tar plop up as well, and you can now pick them up relatively easily. The other way is by draining the entire tar pit, which is maybe the easier option, as using the hoe can be quite finicky. If you want to drain the tar pit, pull out your pickaxe and make a deep hole some distance away from the tar pit. Then connect the hole with the tar pit by digging out all the ground in between the two. This will drain the entire tar pit for you, and you'll see all of the tar loot now laying around on the earth, right there for you to pick them up, easy peasy. 26 or more armor equals you cannot get burnt. If you have an armor rating of 26 or higher, you will in Hearth and Home not get burnt anymore when running over a campfire or a heart in Valheim. For example, a level 4 Drake helmet has exactly 26 armor, so you won't get burnt when you're wearing this item. It's a very precise cutoff, by the way, so you will get in fact burnt with an armor rating of 24 or lower. This is a hidden change they have made, and it could be that 26 armor and higher values just completely mitigate burn damage now, and therefore you don't get the burning status effect anymore. It could also just be a bug though, as the trick does not work with the bonfire, strangely enough. Maybe the amount of fire matters as well for this to work, I'm not really sure. But all in all, it's still useful to know that if you work a lot with hearts and campfires, that now it's possible to not get burnt anymore when you're walking over them. Fastest way to level up your weapon skills with the new changes. So before Hearth and Home, you could infinitely hit a rock to level up your combat skills. And this was a trick that you could exploit to get all your combat skills to max level in the fastest way possible without using any commands. However, it has been patched out, and this means we have to find a new method, of course. The fastest method now to gain weapon skill levels is to first find one of these funky looking things. These are spawners and will infinitely spawn enemies for you to hit and kill. So find one, or even better multiple, then stay near it and kill everything that comes out of it until you have the desired level. It's not as fast as the rock trick obviously, but it's still definitely quite fast, and now in Hearth and Home also the fastest way to level up your weapon skills. Also, just make sure to not destroy the spawner by accident with all the swinging you're doing around it. Fluorescent White Light. Hearth and Home adds a new type of torch, which is the blue torch. It looks nice, but you can even do something cooler with it. If you combine the blue torch, the green torch and the normal torch together, you will get a very bright white fluorescent light that you could not get before Hearth and Home. It's a very cool looking light aesthetic for in or around your house, so have fun using that. And that was it guys for this video. I hope you enjoyed the video. Leave a like if you did, subscribe for more, that would be very much appreciated. And if you did that, then you might as well just click the bell icon, right? Am I right or am I right guys? Also, I'm very curious about your thoughts. Let me know your thoughts in the comments. Did I miss any advanced Hearth and Home tips or tricks that I should cover in a future video? Let me know as well, and I'll take your comments with me for the next time. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye!